Hello, this section looking at economic activity is quite large, as you can see from the specification objectives, and it's very important because it will follow you round for the whole of the course, even in macroeconomics and even in the second year of the course as well. However, the good news is it's very simple, so we can get through this quite quickly. So, purpose of economics is to satisfy needs and wants. And when I think about this satisfying of the needs and wants through the production of goods and services, I always think about getting up in the morning, and I typed that into Google and I got this cute picture. And economics makes me think about that because it's all about why would you get out of bed where it's really warm and really comfy in the morning. The only reason must be to satisfy needs and wants that you can't satisfy just lying in bed asleep. So economics is all about how, as humans, we're able to do that and interact with each other, with firms, with the government, and produce goods and services. Because often we can't satisfy all of those needs and wants ourselves, hunter-gatherer style. We do need to be able to exchange, trade with other people. So that's the first specification objective done. Factors of production then, 4 factors of production: land, labour, capital and enterprise or entrepreneurship. Just remember that capital is anything that's man-made, and these are basically the factors of production just mean the resources that are used, and all the different resources that we use to make goods and services can actually be split down into these 4 categories. So it's just really a way of categorizing resources. And entrepreneurship, is the ideas or the person that's going to organise all of these things, the land, labour and the capital. Because if you didn't have the entrepreneurship or the enterprise, these items would just stay where they were. They wouldn't get organised. If my class turned up to a lesson without me, I'd like to think that after a while, they'd get their textbooks out and they'd do something productive. But it might not be as organised as it would be without me bringing them together and organising it and getting them through the specification objectives. So scarce resources, or a scarce resource, as I've written there, is where we've got insufficient resources to meet demand. And we have some pictures here. Now, I'm not completely sure. I don't know if anybody can get a very accurate estimate because world levels of demand and supply are changing all the time, and sometimes we find new resources and sometimes demand slows down or speeds up. So we don't always get an accurate picture of what's left in the world of these natural resources: oil, natural gas, coal. But we can see there, this is illustrating here the scarcity of it, because we only have so many years left with these resources. So it's insufficient to meet the demand, because even after 119 years, there will still be demand for fossil fuels such as these. So we've done those last 2 there, classification of economic resources and that the environment is a scarce resource. So opportunity cost, a very important definition, and this should really come into your essays. It's a very simple point to make, especially when we're looking at government policy, and it's the cost of the next best alternative which is foregone when a choice is made. So if we've got a person here and they're trying to decide between going through door A or door B, the point about opportunity cost is if they choose door A, they're not going to get the benefits of door B, and if they choose door B, they're not going to get the benefits of door A. So opportunity cost, other than it's a slightly different way of looking at costs and benefits. So this person might be thinking, okay, if I go through door A, what are the costs to me? What are the benefits? And we usually do that when we're looking at accounting decisions, or before you studied economics, you just might have thought of decisions based on costs versus benefits. But when we look at economics and we look at opportunity cost, another cost is that you're not going to get any of the benefits that you would have got had you gone through door B. So we kind of add that to the cost side there. And we'd obviously want to do your benefits deducted from the cost. So it's really the net benefits. You're not going to get the net benefits that you would have got if you go through door A, because you can't do 2 things at once. You can't have both of them. So scarce resources mean that you have to make choices, because you can't do absolutely everything you want. You can only be in one place at a time. There are only so many resources, there's only so much time, there's only so much money that you have, and therefore you have to make a choice. And choices have an opportunity cost. If you make one choice, if you choose A, you can't choose B, so you've given up the benefits of B. So there we go, we've done 2 more. Scarcity means that choices have to be made, and choices have an opportunity cost. So this is the fundamental economic problem, or sometimes called the basic economic problem. And we start off with this position that we have scarce resources in the world and we have unlimited wants. If I asked you to make a list of all the things that you wanted for your birthday or you wanted out of life, you could keep on adding lots and lots of things to that list. So we're going to have more wants than we have the resources to be able to fulfill those wants. So I'm sure you can see where this is going. Therefore, we have to make choices, and we have to make some fundamental choices about what to produce, how to produce it, and for whom we are going to produce the items, who is going to get these goods and services. And that's really what economics is about deciding the most efficient way of doing that. And the way that we decide on these things is really through the economic system, supply and demand. And there we go, all the specification objectives covered. Very short section, but very, very important for the rest of the course.